Hello, and thank you for taking a moment to watch this video where we talk about Prosperity Central and how you can get more done in less time using the Prosperity Central system. My name is Jeff Osnes. I'm going to be your host. I'm going to be walking you through this training. And on this training, we're going to talk about how you can add contacts to your Prosperity Central system and why you should be adding your contacts to the system daily. So let's get into this. Now, when you're logged into your Prosperity Central account, the simplest and fastest way to add a contact is to just jump over to the Contacts tab, click on the Add Contact button, and that'll bring up the little wizard, the little menu where you can start to input the contact information to get that record added to your account. Now, I'm not going to go through each individual line here. Obviously, most of us know what all of these different things are, but let's talk about what's most important. Whenever you connect with a new prospect, a new lead, somebody new that you're going to be working with, you need to make sure that you get their first name, last name, email, and phone number. Those are the four most important pieces of information that you gather from any new contact. So let's go ahead and put some information in. Once you've entered that information, of course, if you have address information, I highly recommend that you add it. That can be useful when you're organizing and building lists within the system, but of course, not something that you necessarily have to do. The next thing you need to do is you need to consider what folder you're going to put those contacts in, because the folder within Prosperity Central will typically have an email campaign assigned to it. So if you put a contact into your business prospect folder, they also have the ability to be subscribed to your business prospect email campaign. So depending on the type of contact it is, you'll put them in their respective folder. For example, business prospect versus product prospect. Now, I get a lot of questions from people about what's the difference between a business lead and a business prospect. In my opinion, a business lead is a less qualified contact than a business prospect. So a lead might be a referral. Somebody says, hey, you should talk to so-and-so, whereas a business prospect would be somebody I have talked to. So they might have even been a lead previously, but now they've become a prospect because I've had a conversation with them. Now that's the way I handle that, but totally up to you how you want to do that. Now I'm going to load this contact into my sample contacts folder. And the next option I want to talk to you about is an ad code. I highly recommend that you use ad codes to track trends based off the types of contacts that you are connecting with. So for example, if Sally Prospect was somebody that I met at, let's say, a soccer game, I might apply an ad code of athletics, indicating anytime I connect with a contact at some sort of athletic event or athletic type thing, I can apply that ad code to that contact, and I can start to track how many of those contacts that I've connected with at those athletic events actually convert and become distributors or customers within my organization. Now, once you've chosen the folder, if you want them to get subscribed to an email campaign, don't forget to check that box. I highly recommend anytime you're adding a contact that you subscribe them to an email campaign, but it is important, very important that you let them know that you're going to be sending them information. You don't want to start sending a bunch of emails to somebody who did not know that they're going to start getting emails when they gave you, their contact information. Now, granted, if they give you their email address, they're probably assuming you're going to send them some emails, but just make sure that they're clear so that they don't complain about spam. The last thing you want to do is have somebody complain about spam regarding your emails, right? And then, of course, the notes. You want to add some detailed notes about how you met them, what kind of conversations you had, some other important information related to that contact. All right, so I've added some notes in here. I'm going to go ahead and expand this, and I want to talk to you a little bit about notes when you're adding notes. Sometimes people put very limited notes in there and you're doing yourself a disservice. It's all about you. It's all about future you, right? So when you're putting notes in here, you want to think, okay, in 2 weeks when Sally is not top of mind and I'm not remembering everything about our conversation, what am I going to want to remember about that conversation? So here, I met Sally at my son's soccer match. Her son made the winning goal. She's looking to make more money to pay summer vacation bills. Okay, seems simple, right? Like, what does her son's soccer match have to do with anything, right? This is important because we can reference this information back when we have follow-up conversations with Sally. So when I talk to Sally tomorrow, next week, next month, I can say, hey, remember when we were at the soccer game and your son kicked that winning goal? That was amazing, right? So now we're building that relationship. We're letting that person know that we really do care about them and their family. And so you're really building that relationship. The other thing that we're doing here is we're making a note of what it is that really triggered the conversation about the discussion, the conversation around making money from home, doing a home business, joining, having her join us in this opportunity, right? So we want to be able to reference that back later. So when we call her up in a couple days, a couple weeks, a couple months, and she's like, oh, I just don't know if I want to do it, I say, yeah, not a problem. I totally understand. Speaking of that, how are those summer vacation bills going anyway? Did you get those all paid off? No, I'm still struggling. Well, hey, I'm happy to help you. If you're serious about making some money, show you what I'm doing, right? So you want to be able to reference that stuff back. If you don't make a note of it, you might remember, right? But we don't always want to rely on our memories because our memories will fail us from time to time. So make sure you're putting a detailed note about any piece of information that will be helpful to build that relationship long term and help them remember why they were at least a little bit interested in the beginning. And then before we wrap up, tags. Tags is something that you can add. You can add multiple tags to contacts to help you organize and track your contacts. We'll talk about tags in more detail in future trainings. But just so you know, tags in this particular case is something that you can add. This might be soccer. This might be mom. So you could add a couple tags to this contact. 500 plus if she's looking to make 500 plus a month in revenue. So little things that might be more interesting for you to kind of tag or associate with that contact as you're putting them in the system. These become searchable items. So for example, if I were to add soccer as a tag, and I wanted to later on find every contact on my account that has a tag of soccer, I'd be able to do that. And then the custom fields, you can create and maintain custom fields on your account to help you gather other additional details related to that contact that are important. Now, I'm not going to worry about doing any custom fields for this record. Let's move down to the disclaimer. Make sure you check that box, letting the system know that you've had a conversation with this person, letting them know that they are going to get emails from you so they're not shocked when they get multiple emails or emails from the system. Then we've got two options. We can either add the contact or add the contact and send an email. I recommend that you add the contact and send an email. That way they get used to seeing your name in their inbox. If you wait, the longer you wait for that email to go out, the more time they have to forget about the conversation, right? So I recommend clicking add contact and send email so that you can then immediately choose to send an email that you've created. Now I've selected a pre-created email here, but you can create your own custom emails to help you save time. Remember, this is all about saving time. You create a standard set of emails that you can pick and choose from. Now, once you've selected the email, you can come in here and further customize it. But the idea is you want to create emails that don't require a lot of customization because we want to be fast. We want to be efficient with our time. Now, we're also going to talk about creating these emails in future training. So don't worry about this right now, but just know that you can create custom emails or you can start from scratch. You don't have to create or use templated emails. But once you've selected that email and you've updated the email, just hit send email and off it goes to that contact. And here we've got Sally Prospect added to our account. From here, we can open up that record, review our notes, continue to follow up with them, track the activity, and that's why you should be adding your contacts to the system. So now we've talked about the how, but why do we add contacts to our system? This is the most important part. This is the most important aspect of adding contacts to the system. Why add contacts to your contact manager? If you're not managing and organizing your contacts, you're going to be inefficient.
You're going to be ineffective. You're going to be producing at a quarter of what you could be doing if you were managing your contacts in an efficient way. So I'm going to step back here a second, and I want to talk to you a little bit about my dad. My dad, years ago, when he was alive, he was in the network marketing industry, working businesses, and he used a system called the file card system. This was before the internet. He used a system called the file card system, and he had a box. It was a long box, and he put 3x5 cards in there. And every time he connected with somebody related to the business, right, he'd put their name on a card. He'd get a new card, put their name on it, put some notes on there, and he'd put in that file card system, that file card box. And then he would place that 3x5 card within that box based off the month he needed to follow up with them next. And then he would have month dividers and day dividers so that he could say, okay, on July, I need to follow up with Sally Prospect. So in July, I need to follow up with Sally Prospect. And there'd be some notes on that file card. And then he would put that card in the July. When July came, he would take all of his 1 through 30, 1 through 31 day dividers, and he'd look at every contact that was in the July timeframe that needed to be followed up with, and he would set them up based off the date within that month that he needed to follow up with them. So a nice, slick little process to help him manage and organize his data. However, the biggest problem with that was he didn't have a backup. If he lost that file card system, he's out of business. He's starting from scratch. He's got to go look up people's information, find people's information somewhere else. No backup. So if he ever lost it, he was out of business. If he forgot it, like let's say he goes out to do some business, goes out of town for some business, and he wants to do stuff. If he forgets that file card box, it's not there. It's back at home. Doesn't help him. So by adding these contacts to your online contact management system, your online file card system, right? Now, no matter where you are, you have access to your file card system. And yeah, we all have our contacts in our phone, right? But that is really hard. You don't want to mix and mingle all of that stuff, all the business in with your personal contacts and all of that stuff. It gets jumbled. It gets hard to keep track of everything. And yeah, you've got a calendar on your phone. You can put stuff on your calendar there as well. But keep in mind, you're trying to be efficient. When you sit down and you go to work, you want to be as efficient as possible, which we're going to talk about more and more on these trainings. We're going to talk about how to be efficient with your time. So even though you may have these contacts in your phone, you need to pull those out of your phone and you need to add them to your Prosperity Central account. Why? Because you need to be in business mode. When you sit down to work your business, you need to say, these are my business contacts. These are the ones that I'm following up with today. They're backed up. They're online. They're accessible anywhere you have access to the internet. And the one thing your phone is not going to do for you, your phone is not going to be dripping information on them. If we look at this campaign tab right here, we're going to see that this contact is part of our business leads email campaign, because that's the campaign I have associated with this folder. And so over the next days, weeks, months, this contact is going to receive emails inviting them to take a look at my product, opportunity, website, whatever it might be. And you have complete control over what those emails say and what's in them, right? So these emails are going to drip, and all of that activity is going to be tracked. You're going to be able to see what emails have been sent, what emails have been opened, and that's going to tell you who you need to focus on. So how do we do it? Use the Add Contact button, get them added to the system. Why do we do it? So we have a backup of all of our notes, all of our information, and that it's accessible online anywhere. And we have the tracking. We have the automated follow-up and the tracking. Those are some of the key reasons why we need to put it in there. So now in closing, as we wrap up this call, this training, I want to first mention, I know we covered a lot of different things here. There's a lot of topics that we're going to be covering in more detail. It's hard for me to cover everything in one training, so we're going to break these trainings up into smaller trainings. So don't worry, we're going to dig into the details of this system. We're going to get more and more dirty with this stuff, right? We're going to get in there, get our hands dirty. But to wrap things up, I do want to mention something, that if you really want to have success in your home business, if you really want to win big in network marketing, if you're a part-timer, you should be adding 5 contacts a day to your system. Now, we all have friends and family, and people will tell you, hey, go make a list of 50. And you should do that. You should go get your top 50 personal contacts together. But what I recommend is you take your top 50 and then you call 5 of those today. So today, before you wrap up, you take 5 of them and you call them and you say, hey, Sally Prospect, I want to let you know about something I've just come across and I think is really interesting. I think you'd find interesting as well. I'd like to send you some information. Are you okay if I send you some information? You get that? Yes. Add those contacts to your system. Start there. 5 a day, 5 a day, 5 a day. Make sure you're doing it on a daily basis, right? Every day, add some contacts to the system. So make sure you're reaching out to those people. Don't just start throwing their contact information into Prosperity Central. You'll confuse them. They'll think it's spam. They're going to wonder if you got hacked. Make sure you have a phone call with them before you add them to the system. Do that on a daily basis. As a part-timer, 5 a day. If you're full-time, 10, 15 a day. You'll be blown away with the success that you have, because this tool is going to help you focus on the most important contacts in your pipeline. So let's go ahead and wrap this up. Prosperity Central is designed to help you boost sales and growth. It's designed to be simple, helps you present your opportunity, helps you organize your contacts. The price is amazing. Track contact activities. You can build a second income stream with Prosperity Central, and it's mobile friendly. Right from your cell phone, you can log in and access it and do all kinds of cool stuff. And pricing, like I said, phenomenally priced. $0 for the basic account. Professionals, $24.95, which is where most people fit, and Premier, $49.95. If you are a team leader, if you're at least at the second management level within your company, you should be at the Premier level. That allows you to create and customize content within your Prosperity Central account and share it with anybody who signs up for Prosperity Central through your affiliate link or joins your team using the tools within the system. So if you don't have a Prosperity Central account, you need to go get one today. Go to prosperitycentral.biz. Once again, prosperitycentral.biz. That's my affiliate link. Go there, sign up for a Prosperity Central account, and let's get more done in less time using the power of Prosperity Central. Bye for now.